Hello everyone, my name is Miss Megan, and I'm the head of circulation here at the Leach Library. And I thought I'd share with you some really fun books all about adventure. And I have a few more than usual today because there's so many different types of adventure. So the first book I have is called The Good for Nothings, and this is a space adventure, and it's by Danielle Banas. It's about a misfit group of a crew who go across the galaxy to try to find this mythical treasure that's supposed to grant immortality. So we have Cora, who's a smuggler and comes from a whole family of smugglers. Her best friend Elio, who is a robot that sometimes has glitches, and then a couple of her cellmates that she meets when she gets caught at the beginning of the book. Anders, who is a disgraced soldier, and Ren, who's like a pirate, and together they have adventures across the galaxy trying to find and be the first to find this treasure. So that is a nice fun book that is a space adventure. If you're looking for something more of a historical adventure, then we have City of Gold by Will Hobbs. This book takes place in the early 1900s in Colorado. The main character's name is Owen Hollowell, and Owen and his family had just moved to Colorado to get a new start when he wakes up one morning and sees that the mules have been stolen from his farm, and he decides to go after the robbers. And eventually his little brother tags along too. So you have these two brothers going on an adventure in early Colorado. They encounter different people along the way, lawmen and different people, mining town. It takes place in a mining town when they do finally catch up to where their mules are, and they meet different characters from history, like the person who stole the mules were actually part of Butch Cassidy's Wild Bunch. So you see Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid get introduced in here. So this is a great historical fiction that also has a really fun adventure with Owen and his brother as they try to get their own animals back. Next we have an adventure all about saving the world, which those are always really fun adventures. So this book is called The Seismic Seven by Katie Selinsky. And what's really fun about this book is at the beginning, it's supposed to be the main character's name is Bree, and she's very excited to go on this summer opportunity at Yellowstone National Park with Dr. Greer, running experiments, using her new camera, and doing all sorts of fun things. But after Bree and the other kids get dropped off, they realize that that's not what's happening. Dr. Greer has chose them to help her save the world from a super volcano that's located in Yellowstone National Park. So it talks a lot about Yellowstone, which is always a really fun topic, and they have to try to release the pressure from the super volcano before it explodes and erupts and destroys the world. So they go underground, they do some drilling and all sorts of other fun science experiments and science adventures. So this is more of a world-saving adventure with a little bit of science too. So you can follow along with Bree, Kenzie, Wyatt, Todd, Raquel, Nolan, and Eddie as they try to save the world from a super volcano, and maybe a few other villains who stop by as well. Right? This book here is all about survival. So it's a story that's an adventure in the jungle, on a river, being lost, and all sorts of things like that. So this is When We Were Lost by Kevin Wignall. So the narrator of the book is named Tom Callowell. So Tom is kind of a loner. He's doesn't really want to go on the trip, but he has nothing better to do. So he joins his other classmates and teachers, and they set off on this venture to go on this fun trip. But the plane crashes, and only Tom and a handful of other students survive, and they're lost in the middle of a jungle. So they don't have very many supplies. They don't know where they are, and they're not really used to the jungle. So they have to find their way through the jungle. At one point they get near a river, and they have to make a raft and try to find their way out and find their way home. So this is a really fun book that's more like the TV show Lost, if you've ever seen that, or read the book Lord of the Flies. So this is really a fun book about survival in the jungle, survival with a group of people that you maybe don't know so well. And what Tom realizes through the whole book is who he was before and who he was after. He grows and becomes a different person that he wouldn't have been without going through this experience. So you can follow along with Tom and his classmates as they try to get through the jungle and save themselves after a plane crash. Now, over here I have a set of playaways. Playaways are really fun because they're audiobooks that you can just take along with you. So you can take them on your own adventure. This is a series called On the Run by Gordon Korman. Now, Gordon Korman is great for having all sorts of different books. This particular series follows Aiden and Meg Falconer as they go on this cross-country adventure trying to save their parents and prove that their parents are innocent. What's fun about this is Meg and Aiden are actually escaping from juvenile detention. So they're fugitives themselves, and so they're on the run from the law. There's FBI agents, there's media, there's all sorts of different adventures as they go across the country to try to find the person who's responsible for the crime that their parents committed and prove that their parents are innocent. So the first book is called Chasing the Falconers. But their story really goes over the course of 6 books, which we have here. So if you're interested in taking an adventure along with you as you go on a walk or any other activity where you want to listen to a book, I definitely recommend this series. It's a great series that is something that it's short. The first book is only 3 hours, so you can get right through the adventure and just continue with this story. So I definitely recommend that if you're looking for an audio adventure. Now, these are only a few different types of adventure. We have so many more options. So if you don't see the perfect adventure book here for you, just give us a call at the library at 432-1132 and ask for me or the reference desk, and we can help you find the perfect adventure story for you. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you go on your own adventure soon.